Hello, fellow pilgrims on the spiritual path called life. Welcome back to Ma Ramana Tanmaya. It's been a while since I spoke to you last. However, we have been posting a series of shorts under the title Melody of the Soul, wherein the interludes of my songs released earlier are being played for the pleasure of your listening. Beginning tomorrow, we are starting a new series of shorts based on how I began my spiritual practice after coming to Sri Bhagwan. Sri Bhagwan initiates within one's heart the steps in one's journey inward according to the person's capabilities, tendencies, habits, and natural inclinations. We may not know this at that particular point of time. We may not even have prayed for it. But He knows when and how to put an individual on the path and help her navigate it. So I started by reading Sri Bhagwan's earliest teachings to Sri Shiva Prakasam Pillai and Sri Gambiram Seshayar, namely Who Am I and Vichara Sangraha, and went on to complete the entire collection of Sri Bhagwan's works. I also keep reading his poetry, biography, and the talks over and over again. In fact, Sri Bhagwan came to me through the collected works, and when I opened it randomly, as is my habit on getting a book, I found a section on the self, and upon reading it, I was instantly transported to that state by Sri Bhagwan. I usually start my day with Sri Bhagwan's book. It could be anything. I read it along with my morning coffee, and I make sure that I read a few pages or at least a few lines. Sometimes, even just one line or a word would take me into deep meditation, and that would set the tone for the whole day. And even if I don't meditate, it still puts me in the right frame of mind, and the words keep ringing in my heart, and that thought becomes the most dominant thought of the day. By the end of the day, after all the interactions and activity, the mistakes and the learnings, a new insight is born, not every day, but very often. Sometimes I may be contemplating on the lesson through the night too. So now Sri Bhagwan inspires me to start this series, which I have named Morning Musings. I'm sure that my fellow pilgrims, especially the young beginners on this path, would find this initial spiritual practice of mine inspiring and beneficial, so that you may have your own reflections, meditations, and insights given to you by Sri Bhagwan. The reading practice also got me started on journaling. Although I've been writing bits and pieces now and then, a proper regular journaling began with my reading. I would record in my journals whatever I have read, my understanding of them, my reflections, meditations, and the lessons learned through the day, and the insights that came out of that reading. So, reading and journaling has been continuing all these years, and I still read the works with a beginner's mindset. Although many more practices have been given to me by Sri Bhagwan in the course of my spiritual journey so far, I find reading to be joyous and fulfilling. And a day that goes by without reading seems a bit off. Journals are not only a record but also a reassuring aid to remind ourselves of Sri Bhagwan's grace upon us. Revisiting our reflections on his teachings comfort us, especially in difficult times when our faith is shaken or when we have self-doubts. Morning musings will bring some of Sri Bhagwan's talks, replies to devotees' queries, poetry, and anecdotes, and I hope they inspire you to take up reading and journaling. Back to school and happy reading, writing, and reflections. Morning musings will be released every day at 7 a.m. and I'm sure that you would all find this useful on your spiritual journey. Thank you so much. Jai Shri Ramana.